Hello and welcome to My Side of the Bag. Drew Hinesley here with Scottie Worldwide. Now we're going to be talking Chevron Championship. Scottie's at the Woodlands, Texas. Got the yardage book ready to show all you folks. Let's get down to business, Scottie.
Yeah, no, definitely coming live here from Houston. Spent a couple days on the golf course prepping. It's a new golf course that we've seen. A lot of changes to some tee boxes that we can go through, and definitely some different strategy off holes. As some of you that do follow the LPGA might know, it was very wet last year. We got about 4 days of rain. This year looking like really good weather. Golf course is playing a little bit more firm, and I think golf fans are going to be in a treat come Sunday when they see some of the changes out here at Carlton Woods.
Well, if you're really a golf fan and you really are about equity in the game, then you're a big fan of Chevron CEO Mike Wirth today. Scottie, tell us why that's the case.
Huge news came out. It was in the pro-am today, standing on the fourth green. My boss got an email about 10 minutes before it went public from the commissioner saying that they were going to go ahead and release this. This was a little bit anticipated last year with the big move from Mission Hills and Palm Springs to the Woodlands, Texas, but it never happened. But we got a major announcement that the purse is going to increase to $7.9 million. Not only that, but also golfers that missed the cut will now receive a $10,000 stipend, up from $5,000 last year. So this is something that we can all applaud. This definitely is what equity in sports and equity in golf looks like. And I couldn't be happier and more excited to go, with a massive $2.4 million, $2.5 million increase from where it was just a year ago.
Well, thanks to Beth Ann Nichols this afternoon. She put a lot of information in her article that you can find at golfweek.com. The purse increase at the Chevron Championship up $4.8 million since Chevron took over as sponsor in 2022. And in 2021, the five majors combined paid out $23 million. This year, the five majors, and this could increase as the other majors, we won't say compete, but we've seen it happen at the last minute. KPMG a couple years ago on Tuesday doubled their purse. I think we're expecting maybe some more of this. So 23 million combined in 2021, and at this moment in 2024, 45.4 million in total purses in the majors. That's an increase of 97% in 3 years. I'm not going to go as far as you and say we have equity in the game, and I'm not even going to say we're close, but we're heading that way.
Right.
And that's good to see.
It is. And someone that has dedicated their professional life to this, this definitely means more bottles of wine for Scottie. So that's ultimately a good thing.
Well, and we've got to increase the Jordan count from 134, obviously. That can never stay that stagnant that long, correct?
That is correct. We always need to buy new Jordans, and they keep coming out with them, so someone's got to keep buying them. And
we're still at 134. We're holding steady there.
Still there. Haven't got anything new yet.
Okay, well, maybe after a win this week with your boss, Elizabeth Skokel, maybe that can change.
I mean, there will definitely be some Jordan spot for a win. I might even buy you a pair.
Well, we've got a couple of pair in this house. I'm not the ones that wear them, but there is proof that Jordans do exist in my household, and my kids are huge fans, just like you are, of the brand.
There you go.
So the news today puts the Chevron Championship in fourth out of the five majors on the LPGA Tour. The U.S. Open at $12 million, KPMG Women's PGA $10 million, AIG Women's British Open at $9 million, and Evian now in fifth place at 6.5, behind the 7.9 that Chevron is now offering for its first major championship of the year. Again, 7.9 today. Mike Wirth and the Chevron Corporation announced that increase, and it's going in the right direction, Scottie, and paying people that don't make the cut. I know that some people may say that's a response to live, everybody making a paycheck, but really what that's doing, it's just breaking even for all those that are missing the cut.
Yeah, no doubt, and help these girls out with some expenses. It's not easy to get here. You got to stay here. You know, week after a cut, most players are staying 7, 8 days here in the Houston area, eating on their own. So those expenses all add up very, very quickly here. And so it's the right thing to do. I wish every major did this. And we can start there and grow it from there. By the way, this happened before Live existed. This was a thing of helping people get stipends for missing the cut. So it's definitely not a response to Live, and it's the right thing to do.
Okay, now that we're done with the actual business of the tour, let's get down to business and talk about the tournament. There's been some changes to the golf course. Take the viewers through that.
Yeah, definitely some changes early on. You'll see, one of the things that the club at Carlton Woods did is they redid all the greens. So one common theme you'll see in the entire week is the greens are much less severe, much less slope. And so they all seem much more mild. Some of the biggest changes is we're tee box back on hole number 5 now. So that bunker carry on the right used to, there's water left, par 4, and then there's a bunker on the right that you kind of have to carry to hit it down there. Used to be 228. It is now 241 to cover on the right. We played the program today. We did cover it. Happened to work for a longer player. So it's going to be very interesting to see what the majority of the field does and how they play that hole. Do they bail out left and bring water into play? Do they stay short of it and hit, upwards of 170-yard shot into that green that isn't the easiest green? Or do they buckle up and try to hit it over that bunker? So that's going to be fun to see. Just that yardage of 228 to 241 makes a huge difference for a lot of the field.
Okay. If you play it to the left, what are you going to be faced with there on 5?
Well, let's go into the book, and I can give you some real answers here.
Kind of what we're talking about. I mean, boots on the ground. Let's go.
So you got 232 to get to that bunker. Then you have probably a 30-yard place to land the ball if you don't go over that bunker, and you're still got 155, 157 front there. So not the easiest shot, and it definitely is tight on that left side. Definitely bring water into play. We've had a south wind that has been somewhat of helping wind last 3 days, but the wind's supposed to be all over the place come the weekend. So it's going to, again, be very interesting to see how majority of the field, and especially smaller, shorter hitters, attack that hole.
Okay, so Nelly going for a 5th consecutive win.
Correct.
Not done very often it on either side of the game.
Well, before we go there, Drew, can I just highlight 2 more big changes on the golf course?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Number 8, par 5, playing a brand new tee box this year. And this hole, I think, is going to play the most different of any of the holes. We now have like a 235 cover on the right side. And if you don't cover it, you're in a kind of a waste bunker where you ensures a layup, and then you kind of get super tight on the left. So we saw a lot of eagles that last year because it was like 225, 227 to carry last year. A majority of the field could carry it and hit it onto the green. Now we're at 235 cover onto the right side. So you're going to see a lot of people, I think, turn that into a 3-shot hole versus people being aggressive and going down the right. We did today. We hit it in the right waist area and hit hybrid on. But again, I don't know if I love that play, and I certainly don't know if I love that play coming down the stretch. Me and my boss talked about it, and kind of a game time decision of how we feel. Then probably the biggest change and the toughest change you'll see is a brand new bunker on hole number 9. There was always one left, but there's a brand new bunker now, 242 to get into it, 255 to cover. We can't cover it, so we got to really thread the needle with driver. Again, we did hit driver today and got around it and hit wedge in, but you're going to have these tee shots on both 8 and 9 become way more important down the stretch of the tournament now. So those are kind of the big changes on the back. Not a lot of changes, just kind of easier greens and not as much undulation. So you'll see big changes 5, 8, and 9.
So basically, they've done the anti Las Vegas setup here at the Chevron.
Correct, exactly.
Shadow Creek, a lot of exposed greens, a lot of undulation in the greens. Wasn't the most exciting week for you personally and some others, and now maybe we get a little excitement at the Chevron.
Yeah, I think a way more a way more exciting golf tournament, and hopefully a much better television product. And I'll just stop there.
Okay, speaking of television product, Nelly, going for 5 in a row. Just talk about what she's doing, her and her caddy Jason. Are they the best team? I know the results say they are, but are they the best team on the LPGA at the moment?
I mean, you can't argue with the results. And ultimately, again, and I talk about it all the time. I made it a point to say this in the last podcast where we talked about her win at Shadow and her prep at Shadow. Jason's still out there and works as hard as anyone out there. And goes exactly to the reason I think Nelly's had so much success. I mean, if you're paired with them, if you're ever in the final group, he does a lot for her. And he gives a lot of information and kind of sets everything up, almost every shot for her. So hard to say there's a better team out going right now, maybe other than Scottie and Teddy. So I don't see Nelly slowing down. I don't see there's any reason why you'd pick against her this week. She top 4 last year, 3rd last year, and she didn't putt well. So there's no reason why I don't think, again, with maybe better greens this year and her kind of fixing her putting, why she wouldn't be at the top of your list to bring home a 5th consecutive win and a 5th consecutive start this week.
All right, so you're putting Nelly at the top of the podium. Let's go place and show, 2nd and 3rd. Who is going to be giving her everything she can handle coming down the stretch on Sunday?
I walked the golf course, and somebody that we haven't seen this year was out there prepping. Ataya Titico is back, looked very healthy, had a chat with her and her caddy for a little bit, and she was hitting the ball as good as I've seen her hit the ball. And so, she hit that ball in the water last year, but should have been there down the stretch. So I would put her in that top 3 category. I'll take her as 2nd.
And for those that don't know, Ataya, in her rookie year on the LPGA Tour, ascended to number 1 in the world.
Right.
That just tells you how talented she is and how good she can be sustained when she's healthy.
And won the scoring average without winning a golf tournament. So that tells you her consistency. And
now she's learned how to win, and now she's back, as Scottie says, healthy and ready to go. So there's one player. Who else can we expect to see?
If I had to take a while, I got to put myself in there. I can't take all these people without thinking that I'm going to be there, Drew. So I'll take my boss there at 3rd, and I'll happily take the 3rd this week.
Elizabeth Skokel, Scottie's boss. I really, really would like to see you guys in the hunt this weekend. I know it's getting late. It's a major championship week. Thank you for making time for doing this. Before I let you go, some final thoughts ahead of the Chevron Championship, the first women's major of 2024.
Yeah, just on the back end of that announcement today, we locked in this golf course and extended it through 2029. And so I know it's not Mission Hills, I know it's not Palm Springs, and I know the pond's not the same, but I definitely think that what Chevron has now, you've seen not only financially, but dedicated themselves to making this a real championship. I hope that we give it the time of day. I hope you find a spot on your television this week to watch. If you're in the Houston area, come out and watch, because they're really trying to make our history and make this something that people are going to remember. And I'm so excited to get going on Thursday. I think it's going to be a very, very good championship.
What's your tee time Thursday morning?
7:48.
7:48 Central Time. Everybody put Elizabeth Skokel on your favorites, on your leaderboard on LPGA.com. And you just might watch Scottie walking around on your TV screen this weekend. Thanks for joining me again, Scottie.
Thank you, guys. Go be kind to one another and turn the television on LPGA this week.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us for another episode of My Side of the Bag.